The modern woman of the 21st century is an ambitious career woman. She's smart, daring, independent, has her own money, and is not confined to household chores. However, these non-stereotypical women are supposedly seen to make mice of men. Our topic for tonight on Moments is dating the modern woman.
What is it?
Do you know what I just kept thinking
topic.
like,
well, the moment you now say
recognize yourself.
mice of men, already like the battle lines have been drawn. Really though?
I mean, you guys,
It's hard.
I know we wrote it from that angle because we want to make sure that we address the fact that this is what a lot of people think.
Yeah.
You know, as modern, as hip as the generation is, I know that a lot of people think this because when social media wars come out and it's a topic about this, you know, about dating a woman who's career driven, a lot of the feedback is, well, career driven women don't know how to make good wives.
Well, let me tell you something. If you step in my way, I will eat you up.
Let's
Don't
revive.
get in my way, okay? When I'm driving. When a car's driving, do you go and stand in front of it?
Girl.
No, honey. You get in the car, y'all drive together. So if we're not driving together, sorry.
You can't be together. But
You
you know what I
can't.
think about? I think like it's almost like a caricature.
Yeah.
You know, a modern woman is strong, feisty. This, but I feel like these things can coexist. You can be, you know, a good homemaker and also be good at your job. They don't have to be mutually exclusive. And I think, you know, it's time that we start examining and breaking down these very harmful stereotypes. I think it's a harmful stereotype.
I don't like when people say modern woman though, because I look at my grandmother. My grandmother is as feisty as they come. She is the feistiest woman I know. And you know, that's that generation.
Yeah.
So I think maybe because we're more communicative, if you get what I mean, is that we're labeling things. But, you know, if we talk about strong, feisty women, our mothers, grandmothers.
And that's the thing, you know, I'm really glad you mentioned that, Brian. I want us to break it down because that is the honest truth, right? It's about labels. And it's labels that's really affecting us. You guys, there's no single story. It's going to be a very interesting conversation today because we're going to be talking about dating the modern woman. We're going to be joined by our guest right after this.
You're watching Moments Girls Talk. So today on the show, we're talking about dating the modern woman. Yes, it's about to get very, very deep. But first, we're joined by our guest. He's known as Il Rhymes. His real name is Olowu Badia Adebola. He's a Nigerian Iranian musician, TV personality, and entertainer, famous for hosting Nigerian Idol and the radio show called Radio Out Loud with Nokia and Il Rhymes. It's so nice to see you.
What's up?
You're so cool. You have a cool name and like a cool vibe as well to go
I'm
with
just
it.
trying to be a cool guy. What can I say? I'm hanging out with three beautiful ladies. I'm just like, let me behave myself. Sip some water real quick.
How did I know you weren't going to take your shades off? I had a feeling this is the
See,
direction
like this
we're
is not
going
even
in.
for fashion. It's just I'm trying to spare you people watching. I'm so tired.
Sorry.
So these are on like
Sorry.
just permanently glued when I'm out in public. You know, tough life.
I know, right?
It's been such a long time since you come on Moments. The
Yes.
last time you were here, you had dreads.
Yes,
That's
it
how
was
long
like
ago it was.
I think this long.
No
It's
way.
been ages.
You know, do you sometimes miss your dreads? Because I know a lot of people say, oh, Casey recently cut his dreads. And I was saying, I actually really like the no dread look.
Yeah.
Do you miss it
I
sometimes?
don't. What do you guys think?
I like it.
I like
Dreadlocks?
this.
No dreadlocks.
No,
No,
I've always known you like
the
this.
short hair, yeah.
But I think the clean look, you know, the GQMC, as you call yourself, it
You already
works
know.
For you. It works for you.
The dreadlocks took 4 hours in the salon. I don't want it anymore. I need more
serious?
time to make money. Yeah, it used to take a long time.
And we're back. You're still tuned into Moments Girls Talk, where it's a hot topic on discussion tonight, and that is all about dating the modern woman. Now, we have a very fine gentleman in the building. I know before the break, Tallulah
Making
shot
me
her
blush.
shot by calling him an attractive man, but we all joined.
I was
in
just saying
shooting our
facts,
shots.
boy,
You know, I had to throw you under the bus, but
it's okay.
Il Rhymes, let's get
ma'am.
straight into it. Let's talk about the fear of dating a modern woman. Is it real?
Maybe for some guys it is, but for me, I'm good, man.
Okay, what's a modern woman? Let's talk about what.
Okay, so I kind of
qualities.
think the modern woman now is strong, independent. She's focused. She's not just, yes, she wants to have a family, but she wants to also have that career. She wants to be the superwoman. And I understand how that can be a bit challenging for some guys, but what I would say is you need to step up. You know, if your woman is a G, you need to be a G times 2. You know what I mean? Like, if she likes going to the gym, you go to the gym too. If she does one weight, you do 2 weights. Because, you know, you have to be the man. You have to be able to take care and handle all that. The modern woman. If you're a smart guy, you should aspire to be with a modern woman. Because if you have X and she has Y, you guys can be X, Y. And X, Y obviously will be more.
Drop those rhymes
that
on
makes
us.
sense, but let's
Yeah.
Okay, you giving a textbook answer. And now I really want to break it down. And you know, you think like that, but you probably might have some friends, you know, who are married and maybe they felt like that before. But when they now get married, things change up. Do you feel like sometimes guys think they want to date? Well, we even switch up the terms with dating a modern woman with alpha female. Do you feel like guys think they want to date an alpha male? They date her and they realize that an alpha female doesn't necessarily come with the comforts that a more traditional woman would want to come with.
No, girl, don't say that. That's not true.
No, but gender roles. I know what I'm saying. Like this, the gender roles are maybe like cooking, cleaning.
Because when you
but I don't understand why you can't be a modern woman and cook and clean and take care of things.
So that's what I'm saying. But that's what the way we're defining modern woman is.
You see, I brought out my claws.
I understand. The way we're defining modern woman is, as we said, is people think a modern woman doesn't do those things. As a modern woman, should you find a way to incorporate those things, or is it cool just being non-traditional in the way you are?
The thing is, you have to find what works for you and your partner. Society is there, that's fantastic. Tribe is there, fantastic. But there are two people in a relationship, fundamentally. You kind of met this girl who never cooked and cleaned while you were dating and expected to start cooking and cleaning when you're married. You need to make sure you have like a cook, or you have a maid. But the thing is, you have to have a balance with life. Nobody's perfect. She can't just be the super career woman and neglect her husband and her kids. You have to find the balance to say, you know what, I'm going to go to work this day, but I'm going to come home, lock him in the other room, like boo-boo, you know, and handle your business.
Ill rhymes. Sounds beautiful, sounds like a fairy tale. Earlier, though, you said that if your girl is a G, you better step it up. Can a ship have two captains? How does that work? Where do you draw the line between, oh, you know, I'm stepping up to be with this woman, and the point where you start butting heads because everybody's the G of the relationship?
But the thing is, like, I don't mean to sound funny, but the man has to still be the G. You get me? Like,
I was waiting for
the man still has to be the G. You know, let's be honest. Like, you women like to be taken care of.
We women, gosh.
You know, you women like to be taken care of. You like to be pampered, right? And it's the guy's job to do that. Like, let's be very plain and simple. If you were the one just taking care of your husband and pampering him all the time, it's like you reverse roles. You know, he'll feel a bit funny. You'd feel funny, like, why am I taking care of this boy? You know, so it is, be a man, be a man. If she's a G, she's fine.
But I have a question about gender roles, because what you're saying makes sense in terms of the man is the head, but the woman, you know.
It's a partnership.
It's a partnership, essentially. But then what if you dated or you married an alpha female who was like, you know what, I make more money than you. So I think it would make sense. I still respect you as the head of our home, but I feel it would make more sense for you to be a house husband kind of situation. You know, these things in the modern
that's
world.
fine. Okay.
I'm not saying that.
In my head, I kept thinking husband.
No, but it's not about that.
At all. But like, you know, maybe not full-time house husband, but you know, maybe you have more time. So maybe you pick up the kids from school, and maybe, I don't want to say grocery shopping, but maybe the roles that would be assigned to a woman traditionally, she feels maybe you could take those on, and you know, but you could still have a happy relationship.
Grocery shopping, by the way.
Exactly. I get what you're trying to say, but have you ever thought that maybe the guy was actually better at playing with the kids? And taking care of the kids, or being able to cook better than the wife?
I'm saying, do you think many men would be able to, even if they were better at it, would be able to accept it? Especially, not even them, but even how society may look at them.
Exactly.
In that role,
like the first thing I said is, it's the relationship of the two people involved. You need to be able to say, I am this man. You get me? This is my ego is in check. Society says this, but I'm living and controlling my household the way it should be. And you have a conversation with your wife and say, don't trip. The fact that you make more money doesn't mean
but
you're gonna boss me
the
around.
way Bolanle burst out laughing when she says house husband.
That's what society is.
So you feel like you would not respect him if he sat at home all day.
She's probably gonna whip the guy. I gotta go home sweep the floor.
Anyways, but what I wanted, there was something you said about, you know, the man has to be the G, and you know, you need to
handle
give
your
him
business.
space. Sometimes do men feel like in exchange for being the G and being the provider, woman then needs to do things that would be considered more traditional roles? Because I think sometimes, and I think it's also human nature, that when you, like, let's say for example you have someone who's living with you and you pay all the bills, your cousin, your younger sister, whatever, you pay all the bills. I remember when I was living with my sister, she paid all the bills, and in exchange I pretty much did all the chores. I cooked, I cleaned, and I was completely fine with that. Do you sometimes think
fresh hands
don't look like sweeping hands?
You know what I mean? I mean, it was abroad, so maybe it was cuter.
Vacuum cleaner.
I'm just joking. But do you sometimes think that that same mindset is carried into a romantic relationship where, as a man, you're paying for everything and you're just like, well, in exchange, you can baby me small?
But everybody likes to be spoiled. Like, I don't know why we're acting like, everybody likes to be spoiled. The thing is, going back to the modern woman, right? The issue that most people have, I think most Nigerian men have, is they feel like the women get carried away.
Okay.
Because, okay, yes, and we live in a very material society these days, where, people lose the plot. You have a good man who's with you, you guys are on the same level or whatnot, earning regular salaries, you get a promotion, he doesn't get a promotion, then the lady starts acting different. Like, I make more money now, so listen to me now, means I'm smarter than you now. What you're doing to the man, men are very fragile, by the way. We're very tough and everything on the outside, but on the inside, we take those very subtle things very personally. So you're watching your wife that you toasted, paid by price, held her down, and she has more money than you now. She's like, bro, man, I'm talking, can you keep quiet? Because unfortunately, there are women like that out there. Yeah. You can't generalize everybody and say all women are good and all men are bad.
True.
Do you know what breaks my spirit right now is that we talk about, men are actually really fragile. What about women, though?
You guys are fragile already. That's textbok fragile.
No, I feel like the moment a woman feels the need to express her fragility, all of a sudden she's not as strong. Oh, you need to be strong.
She's
Pray and fast. Oh, you know what I mean? But now, you know what I mean? But now men are allowed to be fragile and start acting up because, oh my gosh, she's making more money than me. Did you get the
I see where you're coming from. It is one scenario, right? It is one scenario. Now, obviously, I'm not going to support a guy who is tripping because his wife is making more money than him. What I expect him to do is try and get a better job. If you can't get a better job, have a conversation with your wife and say, hey, boo, you're making me feel some kind of way. Let's re-strategize on how we're running this household, because we're moving on too fast. The world is changing from cavemen where I can hit you over the head and carry all three of you and go to my cave and say, whoa, I'm the man.
But I mean, I want to just interject here and say, we're talking about the modern woman, but from scenarios I've seen, really it is, especially like in a marriage, imagine it is kind of a man's world. Imagine if a man gets a promotion to like another country, but his wife is doing really well in her job in their home country. Most likely that woman will have to leave her job to go with her husband and family, and his job would take priority. So, I just want to ask if this illusion of modern woman is really something real, or maybe it's just a bit of an imaginary thing that we think we can control, but in reality, who has really the priority in terms of career?
They're like gender roles that have been there from time. The man is the protector, and the woman is the caretaker. It is like that. Even going back to the basics of back in the day, the man protects the family from danger, harm, etc., and the woman takes care of the family by cooking the food, making sure it's warm, making sure there's keeping everybody in check.
We can get cooked, so do you not think those ideas are a bit stereotypical?
But the thing is, there's still a fundamental in life. Even biologically, women are created to be more caring, even the way your brain works.
True.
You're watching Moments Girls Talk, and today on the show we have been chatting about dating the modern woman. So you guys, in a nutshell, I think everyone on this table considers themselves a modern woman. I know I do. And it was just interesting talking to Illy and hearing, his views about, if you're a modern woman, you should date someone who can respect you for who you are, but also keep in mind that those traditional gender roles are not really going to go away. So you will still have to fulfill some of them. I mean, for me, I think I'm someone who I just want to have a lot of authority, which is weird for me because I'm so petite. So I just feel like, little old me.
Like dynamite comes in small packages.
It's really weird, like a Napoleon complex, So I kind of feel like to date, I'd want to date someone who I felt was not even equal me, was more than me in terms of authority, stature, career. So we could just have that balance of respect. I think, respect for men is so important, and I'd want to be able to give it freely as opposed to side-eyeing the guy. Maybe you don't have a job or whatever.
Anyways, I think it's interesting because that's the thing. Like, where does respect come? Like, how does a guy generate respect? Because a lot of times people put respect based on, what they have materially, where you are in your career, what position you have in your workplace. And it's such a dangerous thing because when a guy, life happens, and if you lose any position that is external, how do you maintain your respect for this person? That's why I've been asking myself, when I say I respect a guy, why do I respect him? Because if not, if this guy loses X, Y, and Z job or anything, then you're just looking at a person like, sorry, what am I with you? And that's something that I really think a lot of us women who are attracted to powerful men, we really have to ask ourselves, like, are we with this person for the right reasons, So in a nutshell, that's what I think, kind of off topic.
Well, I'm about my quotes. Ultimately, I believe that goals must be independent yet complementary. So What we all need to look for is something that empowers us, where we feel supported and loved, because we all have dreams and visions. And remember that these things are constantly evolving. So what we want is to be able to evolve with somebody who understands that we have things that we yearn for and long for, and understand they have the same, and meet each other halfway. That's the foundation of a strong relationship.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. I'm definitely going to be. Thanks, Ms. Mumbai. I love the way you rounded all of that up. Well, it's goodbye from us for today's show. We hope you've learned a lot, and for all you modern women out there, we hope you've gotten a few tips about how to improve your dating life. Do remember, if you can think it, you can do it.